At 11:36 to reports of a body in the River Wyre close to Rawcliffe Road. An underwater search team and specialist officers have subsequently attended the scene, entered the water and have sadly recovered a body. No formal identification has yet been carried out.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Well, there you have it. Under blue skies, the portents didn't bode well. A citizen pointing into the water of a river, a diver suiting up, a white forensic tent being erected under a buzzing police helicopter, all roads in the area closed, social media lighting up, and eventually confirmation that a body has been found. And that is why police were called to the scene, because a member of the public thought they had found a body and apparently did find a body. Searching for a body has got to be a strange thing. Do you want to find something or don't you? Well, they have found a body in the water, and I suspect it wasn't something seen. I don't think it was something visible that gave it away. I think it was the smell. And then someone went to look at the smell and then saw something in that area. Police protocol, as we saw in the Kylie Rodney case, would be to acknowledge a body but hold off on providing any sort of absolute identification until tests have been done. After 23 days, tests may need to be done unless clothing or jewelry can be positively identified. Of course, what we can tell is whether it's a male or a female, like right off the bat, the height of the person, probably the length and color of the hair. So probably police would be able to assume from what they can see who it is, but their protocol is that they're not allowed to say, they're not allowed to make assumptions. They've got to deal with facts. Of course, nothing holds social media back in that way, and so they don't need any such details, and they obey no such strictures. So long before there's any official confirmation, you'll be seeing and hearing people crowing that, in absolute terms, that Nicola Bulley has been found. We don't know if it's Nicola Bulley. It probably is her, but very likely she has been found. But as we saw in the search for Suzanne Morphew, we had the same thing, social media crowing that someone had been found and they hadn't. Also in the search for Summer Wells, tense and heightened police presence, it doesn't always mean something. In this case, as we know, a body was found in a river, and it does seem pretty conclusive. And so I think if you take that situation, you say a body has been found in the river, does that change your thinking? So the last time I polled everyone, I said, and I'll put up a poll on YouTube after this video, the majority said that I think foul play is likely here. Are you one of those people, and have you changed your mind based on these latest developments? Please answer that question in the comments. Just say, I believed in foul play and I still believe in foul play, or I believe in foul play, but the fact that she's found or appears to have been found in the river has made me change my mind, or we still don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments. Before we get to the rest of this analysis, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So we're kind of in the same situation as we were in the Kylie Rodney case. We're going to need an autopsy. It's going to be complicated by an extended period, actually a similar period that Kylie was in the water, actually even longer. And that is going to complicate things like toxicology. So again, what does it mean if it is Nicola Bulley? Well, firstly, I think it means an accident or suicide are both more likely. That's my opinion. Secondly, it shows, as I've been saying, how lousy we are at searching in water. Right? When someone next disappears in water, I hope the lesson that we learn from this case is, you know what? People aren't very good at looking in water, even with very good equipment, even experienced searchers. We're just not very good at it. Our attention to detail in an asymmetrical environment, so a natural system that's not our backyard, is pretty poor. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a local that actually found something. Thirdly, as we've seen time and time again, when people disappear, they tend to not be so very far from where they were last seen. You may think it's easy for a person who's lost their motor control, who can't walk, who can't crawl, to move a great distance, but the reality is whether someone is moving that person or nature is moving that person, it is difficult to move a human body any significant distance. And once again, it appears to have been borne out in this situation. Finally, there is a slight chance that there could still be a foul play scenario. Precisely where the body was found is where the road, Rawcliffe Road, runs alongside a hairpin curve of the River Wyre. I don't know whether I also need to stress that on the where the body appears to be found is not that far from the village where she disappeared. It is on the opposite side of the river and the far side of the river to where Paul lived, so it is some distance from there. If it is Nicola, and if the autopsy seems to indicate a more recent time of death, so if it appears that she's only been deceased for a week, or she did not die by drowning, then foul play rises as a possibility. Right now, I think it still seems very remote indeed. What do you think? The official update is this morning, Sunday 19 February. You may be aware of police activity around the river near to St. Michael's. We want to provide you with an update on that activity. We were called today, this is the official police report, at 11:36 to reports of a body in the River Wyre close to Rawcliffe Road. That must be emphasized. The body was found very close to a road. So was the body placed there, or did the body flow basically a mile in 3 weeks? Did the body sink and then rise to the surface after a period of time? An underwater search team and specialist officers have subsequently attended the scene, entered the water, and have sadly recovered a body. No formal, there's not really much description. Did they find the body in branches? Was the body sort of somewhat visible under the water? Was a dog involved? Did a dog smell something? Anyway, no formal identification has yet been carried out, so we are unable to say whether this is Nicola Bulley at this time. Procedures to identify the body are ongoing. We are currently treating the death as unexplained. Nicola's family have been informed of developments, and our thoughts are with them at this most difficult of times. We ask that their privacy is respected. Now, I must say, you've got people protesting the violation of Nicola's privacy, but then I would imagine those same people wouldn't be waiting to say, oh, that body there is Nicola Bulley, which is the worst violation of her privacy. Anyway, now may be a good time to deal with the mistaken belief that Nicola Bulley never went into the river. First of all, do you think that was a mistaken belief? Do you think Nicola Bulley did never go into the river? Well, she was found in the river right now. It appears very certain. So was something else more likely in this scenario than falling in the river or suicide? Do you still think that something else is more likely? And if you do, you must be aware that you probably are someone who has the soldier mindset, which is you make up your mind very early on, and then you sort of dig in and create a fortress, and you defend that no matter what. And that is what we try not to do on this channel. On this channel, we try to be curious, we try to be open-minded, but we also, once we have a certain amount of evidence, certain amount of information, we try to also be logical, but still open-minded. So even though what appears here seems to be fairly logical, fairly obvious, we still are open to the possibility that there could be foul play. What we're waiting for is confirmation, waiting for the evidence. So let's see what happens in that area. Are there going to be any wounds on her body? Are there going to be any injuries? Is anything going to come up in toxicology? Did she take some substance when she entered the water? Time will tell. It is a sad day, but at least now we know basically what has happened. It's one step certainly in that direction. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.